Welcome to the History AI podcast, where the past comes alive with facts, anecdotes, and a dash of humor. Here are your hosts, Chuck and Marco.
Welcome back to the History AI podcast. I'm Chuck, your co-pilot on this history adventure.
And I'm Marco, the guy who pretends to be surprised even though we research these topics together.
Today, we're diving into a medieval mystery that has baffled people for centuries, the story of the Green Children of Woolpit.
A tale so strange it feels like it was ripped out of the pages of a fantasy novel. But nope, it allegedly happened, and we're here to unravel it for you.
Or, at least try to. There are theories, but no definitive answers. Before we start, shout out to all our listeners. You folks are the reason this show keeps growing. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and leave us a 5-star review. It helps us out a ton.
And remember, our episodes are evergreen, so you can binge listen anytime without worrying about them going out of style.
That's right. Now Marco, take us to 12th century England. What exactly went down in Woolpit?
Picture it, 12th century Suffolk, England. Woolpit, a small village, gets its name from wolf pits, deep holes used to trap wolves back in the day. It's a rural area, surrounded by farmland and woods. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
Until one day, the farmers near the pits discover something bizarre: 2 children, a boy and a girl, wandering in the fields.
And these weren't just any kids. They were green.
Green like grass, like Shrek, or green like Aunt Walla on the boat ride back from Alcatraz.
Not that green. More like a pale green tint. Their skin had a noticeable green hue, enough to alarm the villagers. But that wasn't the only odd thing. They were wearing clothes made of materials the locals had never seen, and they spoke an entirely unknown language.
This is where it starts to feel like an episode of The X-Files.
Exactly. The villagers were understandably confused, but they took the kids in. The children appeared healthy, but they wouldn't eat anything.
Food-picky kids? Relatable.
Not just picky, they flat out rejected all the food offered to them until someone brought in green beans or raw broad beans, according to the account. That's all they ate at first. Eventually, they adapted to other foods, but that detail stuck with people.
Okay, so they're green, they speak gibberish, and they only eat beans. What happened next?
Unfortunately, the boy didn't survive long. He became ill and passed away. The girl, however, thrived and eventually lost her green color. She learned to speak English and began telling the villagers about where she and her brother came from.
Here's where it gets really weird. What did she say?
She claimed they came from a place called St. Martin's Land, a subterranean world where everything had a twilight glow, and the sun never shone brightly. She described it as a place where everyone was green.
So, underground aliens?
Not necessarily aliens, but something otherworldly. She also said they were looking after their father's livestock when they heard a loud noise and somehow ended up in Woolpit.
A loud noise? Like a portal opening?
Maybe. That's one theory.
Well then Marco, let's talk theories. What's the most plausible explanation for the Green Children of Woolpit?
Well, the theories range from the mundane to the fantastic. One common idea is that the kids were Flemish refugees.
Why Flemish?
At the time, there was a lot of anti-Flemish sentiment in England. Flemish weavers and traders had settled in the area, but they were often targeted during political unrest. Some suggest the children might have fled during one of these conflicts, ended up lost in the woods, and were suffering from malnutrition.
Malnutrition could explain the green tint, right?
Exactly. A condition called chlorosis, or green sickness, caused by iron-deficiency, could account for the skin discoloration. It would have cleared up once the girl started eating a more varied diet.
In the weird language?
Flemish could have sounded incomprehensible to the villagers in Woolpit, who likely only spoke Middle English.
Okay, but what about the whole St. Martin's Land thing?
That's trickier. Some suggest it could have been a child's confused description of their home. Maybe they lived in a shaded forest or a place where twilight lingered due to dense tree cover.
And the loud noise they heard?
Could have been a natural event, like a storm, or something exaggerated over time. But then there are the other theories.
Oh yes. Let's get into the fun stuff.
Some people believe the kids were extraterrestrials or interdimensional travelers. The idea is that they accidentally crossed a rift between worlds and ended up in Woolpit.
That would explain the unusual clothes and language. And hey, who's to say interdimensional beings don't love a good bowl of beans?
True. Then there's the folkloric angle. Some think the Green Children were fae, like fairies or other mythical beings. The St. Martin's Land description fits with old tales of otherworldly realms connected to our world.
So, aliens, fae, malnourished Flemish refugees, all possible. But no one's ever solved this mystery?
Not definitively. The story comes from two primary sources, William of Newburgh and Ralph of Coggeshall, both 12th century chroniclers. But their accounts were written years after the events, which makes it tough to separate fact from embellishment.
What do you think? Alien visitors or just confused kids?
My money's on the refugee theory. It's grounded in historical context. But I won't rule out the possibility of something stranger at play.
I'm rooting for interdimensional travelers. It's cooler, and that's the story of the Green Children of Woolpit, a mystery that keeps people guessing to this day.
What do you think, listeners? Refugees, fairies, or aliens? Let us know on social media. And don't forget, if you have a topic suggestion, send it our way.
Also, check out our new merch. We've got awesome designs for history lovers. Link in the show notes.
Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to rate us 5 stars, subscribe, and share the podcast with your friends. Your support helps us keep uncovering history's greatest mysteries.
Until next time, keep exploring the past to make sense of the present. Looking for the perfect way to show appreciation for the incredible mom in your life? Discover Exhausted Moms, a coloring journey to relaxation and humor, the coloring book that speaks directly to the heart of motherhood. Gift her an escape into pages of laughter, empowerment, and moments of tranquility. With Exhausted Moms, she'll find a blend of whimsical illustrations and inspiring quotes that celebrate her daily triumphs and challenges. Crafted with love from images I created for the mother of my children, each page offers a space for creativity and relaxation, a reminder that she's doing an amazing job, even on the toughest days. Give the gift of laughter, peace, and recognition. Exhausted Moms isn't just a coloring book, it's a hug, a nod of understanding, and a token of appreciation for everything she does. Surprise her with Exhausted Moms today and watch her face light up with joy. Because every mom deserves a moment to herself, wrapped in the colors of love and support.